sense.
Hey, welcome. Thank y'all for joining us again here on another episode of the Radio Godz. Yes, it is. It's Sunday, August 2nd. I'm going
My mama's birthday.
Hey, we're going to call and tell her happy birthday. Hey, I
My
want to
birthday's goddamn Thursday.
this dude. Hey, I want to introduce my people, man. We got the professor down here. And we got Mr. Rothstein, better known as Brandon. And then we got Mr. Radio Godz himself, my man Adam O. And then it's me, I'm your host, Mr. Yosemite Sam himself. Hey, again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in to us today. Today's topic, I think, is a pretty good one, pretty interesting, and it's thinking like a black man. And I'm going to describe what I mean when I say thinking like a black man. In today's times, with everything that's going on, we have all these social injustices and things coming out. Social media been around, camera phones been around for a little minute now, and things happen and people catch things, and some things are blown out of proportion. Some things are exactly as they seem. So with everything that's going on, I want to say this. How I'm looking at it for thinking like a black man, I want to know, and this is my question to y'all and everybody else listening. So people, please leave your comment, likes, subscribe, and everything, all that good stuff. If you're thinking like a black man or thinking like yourself and you don't agree or bow down to the level of the next person on how they think, why are you labeled a coon, a Uncle Tom, a sellout, and everything else just because you don't agree or think just like the next person? I'm gonna start off with Mr. Professor today on that question, and then I'm gonna jump in and after everybody speak, and I'm gonna put my 2 cents in. You can't hear you, sir.
Oh, you can't hear me?
There you go.
Ah, okay, there we go.
He was Miami at first.
Oh, no, but for real, it's you have to ask yourself, like, what is thinking like a black man? Because that's almost like saying, do you speak white? The only time I combat people who talk crazy is when you got people like that black man Paris Denard, who be on like Fox always trying to defend Trump and crazy shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
You got like Terry Crews. When you start speaking like them, I don't like to use the word coon. I like to use the word crazy. They talk crazy because it's almost like they lack, I ain't gonna say common sense, almost like common knowledge. It's like willful ignorance to me. So I don't want to say, coonery. I think that's a little bit harsh, but it's a crazy topic, though. I can't get into it.
Man, what the fuck is
I can't get into it too much because, I don't know. Oh, shit, let's start this over. Let's fuck that up. Back there. Oh, damn.
All right, we're gonna let you get your thoughts together, man. We're gonna come back to you. Rothstein, what's your take, sir?
Cut that.
Well, I'm gonna speak from somebody who mostly come from outside the box, and I'm gonna say not thinking like everybody else because I'm not a follower.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Most people think a certain way because, one, miseducation. They just go off what somebody tell them. They never really study no facts to say what's what. Like,
Okay.
I'm going to use, for example, a thing that it bothers me, and most people don't look at it the way I look at it. It's this Black Lives Matter movement thing. I don't really believe that Black Lives Matter is for the people, but you can't tell some people that because it's labeled as Black Lives Matter. They don't even
Okay.
know nothing about it. And that's why I say miseducation. Miseducation and how you messed up word. And then so many people just go off what they hear somebody say or what they see on TV. They don't even know that they program not to even think for themselves.
I
And
can
it's a
see that.
lot of that go on out there. Because like my views on certain things, and like I said, I don't blame nobody for where we are as people, but us. And most people don't view it like that. I view it like that because our people wanted to be so accepted by this white race that they basically bent over and gave up everything just to be accepted. And I know that some people don't view it that way. Some people view it as the white man the problem. I don't view it like that. I view it a lot as we the problem. One, because we don't stick together to even get through nothing. Whether it's we agree on it or we disagree. We kind of like just we roll with it. And like we wanted to everything was cool. Like we had I'm just go back to like I said, we had black communities that were striving and doing good until they wanted to be segregated. When they want to be segregated, the only reason they will let you be segregated is because they found out that your dollar was powerful and they wanted your dollar.
Right.
Some people look at segregation as one of the best things that happened. I look at it as the worst thing that happened to us because it took everything away from us, like the responsibility and showing pride in who we are as a people. And so my views is like I said, my views is different from other people's views, and a lot of people's views are just misinformation, man. And they'll label you an Uncle Tom or a coon or something because for some reason in their head they feel that it's right. And a lot of times it could be right for you, but it ain't right for me. It all go off your opinion for real. Me personally, that's what I think. And like I just said, my views is different from a lot of people's views in the black community, but it is what it is.
Now I have an example that I want to use, and this was either it's like a year or two back, maybe a little more than that. But when a lot of this stuff first kicked off, when Kaepernick was sitting, and then a vet told him to take a knee instead of sitting, to you can get your point across and still respect. I'm gonna say the flag. And then you had some people come out and they were speaking against him sitting and kneeling and things of that nature. And Ray Lewis was on TV and he was talking about how he thought about it when it came to the kneeling. And I think, don't quote me on this when I say this, but I think he said he wouldn't kneel, but in order to his foundation on where he came from was his mother and his grandmother, excuse me, giving him the prayer foundation to get down on your knees and pray and to get what you're looking for. Look to the Lord, keep your head up and things like that. And people came back to him saying, you a Uncle Tom, you a coon, you ain't for this, you ain't for the movement, and the whole 9 yards. And I feel like because of his personal experience, why should he be labeled a coon or Uncle Tom because he spoke how he felt? You know what I'm saying? Because his views, dang, because his views were different than everybody
Hair
else.
pie.
This dude, because he
Oh
felt
shit!
like because he felt like you don't have to kneel to get your point across. You know what I mean? Now I get it. Everybody ain't for the kneeling. Everybody ain't for the kneeling, and then you have people that's with the kneeling. You know what I'm saying? I feel like any way to get your point across, you should be able to say that and get your point across, and not have nobody judge you because of how you think. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we live in a society where you're being judged by how you look, which is how you dress, how you walk, how you talk, what you drive, things. And then that, hell,
Who
what
you
you put
hang
on your head.
around?
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Right. Who you hang around, all that. So I'm gonna go back to what Professor said when they call it talking like white folks. I don't call it talking like white folks. I call it being educated. You know what I'm saying? Because your dynamic on where you come from dictates your dialect. So with that being said, Adam O, what's your take, sir?
Why do we consider people coons? I think because we're just so programmed to kind of think like each other, and we're lazy when it comes to like certain topics, and the quickest way for us to not really think and do anything is just to think like what the other person is thinking like. And I think that's with the coon, calling people coons and not saying that you're for the black cause. I think that's one of our biggest reasons why we haven't gotten anywhere, because we're infighting. You can tell when somebody literally is speaking because they have a passion and a belief in what they believe in that they think is going to help the black community. You can it may be different completely from your thought process, but you can tell if it's out of hate, if he's doing it or if she's doing it out of hatred towards her people. So when I listen to different people that go against something that I go against, I look at it as just a different way of thinking, and we may could use that particular way of thinking to get to our cause. But we shouldn't look at each other as enemies. And why?
Yeah. That's one thing, like you was just saying, it's basically, man, to me, I believe it's a closed-minded thinking thing.
Yeah.
Because the only thing you can hear is yourself. You can't hear what nobody else saying. Like, they input, you making it like they input really don't matter. It's really all about how I feel and how I view things. And if you're doing that, you basically just going one way, looking straight ahead. You ain't looking to the side to see what's going on around you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And you gotta have more than your view to really get down to the bottom of some stuff.
Would you associate that with being shallow also, besides being closed-minded?
I don't think shallow, because I view shallow is more like for parents thing, how you act and stuff like that. I don't view it as in putting it for as me thinking a certain way and you thinking a certain way. I don't put shallow on that.
Okay.
I don't.
What
But
about you, Truth? After he get done talking, I'm sorry.
go ahead. He could go ahead. I'm collecting my thought.
Nah, I kind of separate shallow.
Yeah.
Yeah, right there. To me, that's more of a how can I say this? Shallow
talking about people.
centered. You know what I'm saying? It's not about nobody else, just you. So
Yeah.
I view shallow.
You agree, Adamo?
Oh no, I don't think that you can correlate those two together. I would consider.
I just wanted to put that out there. You know what I'm saying, to make sure everybody on the same page. You know what I mean?
I think a lot of our viewpoints or our logic or the way we think is stem from our parents. Because I remember growing up, my mother instilled in my head that white people are against you, white people don't want you to do this, white people don't want you to do that. That's what was instilled in my head when I was younger.
Can't bring no white girls to the house.
But I understand where they were coming from, because they was closer to slavery.
And they was part of the segregation.
Yeah, so I get it, but
they was part of the depression times and all that stuff. It was bad for them, so their views was different.
Yeah, but we're still living by some of those same views right now.
Yeah.
I think that's what's tripping us up a lot of times.
You think that's because of the TV? because a lot of people pay attention to the media, and the media not always right.
Oh, it's definitely the TV as well. Yeah.
You
Because
know what they say?
I was
You want
thinking a particular way from hearing all of that from my mother when I was 15, 16, 17, going out into the world, getting ready to go out. I had that same mentality, but I had to look and see it myself. And then I'm like, okay, my mama told me this, my mama told me that, but it don't seem so much like that.
Mhm.
Right. And then we
Were
went to
you-
school with them too, remember? We went to
I was
school
gonna
with white
say-
people. So that kind of like, it kind of did something different too from what you was being taught at home, because you being taught one thing at home, but then you coinciding with them 8 hours a day. And so it kind of make you look at it like, maybe this ain't, it kind of open your mind up because you've been told this all your life, and then you start seeing this.
You hit it right on the head on what I was gonna try to say. Because where you grew up at plays and you know, I said this on another episode or two, where you grew up at play a part in how you think too. Because when you're around the same group of people all day, I ain't gonna say all day, but all the time, and you as kids, you outside playing with these group of people. Depending on where you live, you going to school with these group of people until you graduate. You know what I mean? So that's over 10 plus years of being around this same group of people who think this particular way, and because that's how y'all grew up, you think that's right until you are met with another set of circumstances that give you a chance to think outside the box or differently than your peers. You know what I mean? So I be thinking again, because you don't think like the next person, should you be labeled a coon or an Uncle Tom and things of that nature? And I say no.
Yeah, I say no too. It's just your opinion, man. Like I said, everybody got them.
Just
It's
like
your
everybody
opinion
got
on how
assholes.
you view them. Right. Don't say it's your opinion on how you view things. And I know, like, with me, I just said some stuff about my views, and like, I really believe that we won't see a change in our community until, like Adam was saying, we heal within. We got to start within.
Yep.
We constantly waiting for somebody to do it for us or somebody to give us something. Ain't nobody giving nobody nothing. Flat out, I don't care how you want to look at it or what you think coming down line. Nobody giving nobody nothing. You're going to pay for everything you get, basically. So until we figure out what the real issue is, why we so divided, why we think like that, it ain't going to be enough
I can give you
change,
one.
man.
I can give you one.
And
Everybody feel like they
go.
being played. Everybody feel like they being played. That's like one of the main reasons, as in the Black community, you can't get nowhere. You get somebody in hand with something, they like, all right, what you doing this for? You want something, which is not always the case with a lot of people. You dig what I'm
That's I was
saying?
just talking to my mom about that this morning. I do stuff and I expect nothing for it.
Because
Like a lot of stuff I do, I don't expect to get nothing back for it. I just do it because I want to do it.
you
And
genuine.
it's
That's all it is.
right. It was just something I was taught as a kid. Like I used to go to work with my dad, and the dude would be, I see my dad out here working, doing stuff he didn't have to do. My dad owned the company and drove the trucks. He would be on the job site, moving stuff around, getting in the tractor, doing all this stuff, bulldozing buildings that he didn't have to. And he's always told me that sometimes you do stuff that you don't have to do, you just do it. And so
that's lead by example.
Right. And I just was talking to my mom about this an hour ago before I got on here to talk to y'all.
You know what? We don't have enough leaders neither. You know what I'm saying? And I said this.
Everybody follow.
I said this on the episode too. Huh?
And then when you do have a particular leader, we're beating them down.
Yep.
You don't, because you don't like something he said.
I.e.
Put them under the microscope.
Kim Gardner.
Who?
Kim Gardner.
Kim Gardner.
Because she don't take no shit off nobody. Everybody all in her shit like she wrong. She's not wrong.
Nah, she my friend, man. She gave me probation when I was most definitely supposed to be going to
Bro,
prison.
she helped me and my wife out through some hard times. You hear me?
I'm
I ain't
gonna tell you,
ashamed to
that's
say it. And
look,
she was just a
and,
lawyer. She helped us out through some hard times.
and that's why I tell people, man, if you don't like that judge or whoever in there who sent your family member, your partner to jail, you vote their ass out, man, and you
Yep.
put somebody in there who you feel gonna do better. It's all trial and error for real.
Check
Yep.
this out. I got another one who everybody felt like was gonna be better. They got Bob McCullough out of there because he didn't charge Darren Wilson with Mike Brown murder, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got Wesley Bell in there. What he's doing? Racking up all type of charges. He's doing nothing either.
But really, because it's nothing you really can do until laws are changed. So
Yeah, because they under a law where they really can't be prosecuted for a lot of stuff they do.
yeah,
And one thing about what they do all the time, the prosecutor always overreaches. You is not going to convict a police officer of first-degree murder. You
yeah,
convict them, you charge them with manslaughter.
yeah. Until you change
That's where
that
you get
law.
them in. Yeah, the law is designed where they can't be prosecuted for that stuff. And so,
Yeah,
like I'm saying, they reach too far. But if you charge them with manslaughter, you might win a manslaughter case.
Even second degree.
Murder is kind of like you intended to do it. Like you went out that whole day and like, oh, I'm finna do this.
Like I know I'm gonna kill this man. Yeah.
You're
So
right. It's a difference. It's harder to prove.
I'm gonna touch on the subject real quick. This was a conversation me and my wife was having, and we were talking about, and I think Adamo, me and you had this conversation kind of sort of when we were talking about with the police and stuff, or just being charged, or people being charged, and it's not necessarily reaching, but as a Black people or as a culture, being content with some of the small things, you get a little bit and you finish. That's it. There's nothing no more about a movement. So let's just say part of the war is to have those battles. You know what I'm saying? Whether you win or lose those battles, you know if you lose, you know what to do next time to proceed forward to get over that hurdle or that hump. And what I mean by that, so let's use the police officer in Texas that went in that man's apartment and shot him and killed him.
The lady?
Yeah, the lady.
Yeah, that lady.
Okay.
She said it was her apartment. They gave her something around 10 years for manslaughter or something like that. And people were bitching saying, oh, that's all she get. That ain't enough. Yada, yada, yada. But had she got off, y'all would have said more. You know what I mean? I'm not saying be satisfied, but be happy that something did happen. Now, what do you do?
The crazy part about that is that's the same thing they'll do for us on a murder or something like that. If you get charged with manslaughter, that's like one of the maxes. But what we get messed up, and I believe, is you got people doing more time for selling weed than you got for murder.
Yep.
That's where you know it's all messed up.
yeah.
And then you turn around and let all these white folks get these weed businesses and set up in the neighborhood, in the hoods, in the counties, everywhere, and they selling weed legal.
And make that same money the weed man was making.
Shit, they making
With
a whole lot more.
They
making a whole lot more.
Nah,
Because I know a dude that I met driving the cab. He was in Oregon, and he was telling me he's making like $12 million a year growing and selling it to people. 12 million? Free cash? All cash.
But let a Black dude do it on the street because he went and hit that plug up and he had a meal off of it. They locking him up for 20 years.
That's because the government can't get their paws in it.
This dude,
you know what it is, though. The government can't get their paws in it. The government ain't had none. Ain't nobody eating.
You right.
Yeah, it's crazy.
But what I was getting at, though.
My bad for interrupting.
Nah, you good. What I was just getting at, though, is doing this. If you have people who's serious about making changes, this is a war and not a battle. You know what I'm saying? You have to take those little battles within that war, or it's a marathon and not a sprint. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep at it. Okay, we had some of our ancestors and some of the people that came before us that did those small things to try to get changes made. You know what I'm saying? Like Martin Luther King and things, you know, and people like him. And some people would even go as far to say Rosa Parks. And then you had some of those inventors who had, when they, with their inventions, they made changes, like Alexander Graham Bell and people like him. And George Washington Carver. You know, it takes, like they say, it takes a village to raise a child. You know what I'm saying? We live in a day and age now where you can't say nothing to nobody without nobody jumping or trying to jump stupid and try to fight you because you're trying to give them correct information.
Shit,
You
mow
know
your
what I'm
ass
saying?
down.
Right. You look at somebody wrong, they ready to blow your head off. You know what I'm saying? It shouldn't be like that. I don't give a damn. Excuse me. That's the wrong term I'm trying to use. I don't give a fuck if you black, white, Hindu, Indian, Chinese, Russian, whatever. If you respect me, I'm gonna respect you. If you disrespect me, I'm gonna let you know this your first and last time you gonna disrespect me. All right? I'm not finna fight you. I'm not finna argue with you. You disrespect me again, you ain't got to hear from me no more.
Yep, that's how you solve it.
I'm gonna walk right past you like you don't exist. We could be standing side by side, and I'm gonna look past you like you're not even standing next to me. You know what I mean? And I do believe this: change comes from within. We have to change our thinking process. We have to change our mind. We have children. You can start with them.
Yep, that's where you should start at.
Mm-hmm.
Have them aim high. Don't have them just aim to be, well, once you graduate high school, go get you a job at Pepsi, or go drive for Bi-State. Well, it's called Metro now, but go drive for Bi-State, or go be a janitor at a college because they make good money type shit. Nah, be your own boss. You want to be a what they call them, video, when they just make video games and shit like that.
Video game,
You know,
video
I
game consultant or
forgot the
some shit
correct
like
term for it, but go do that.
that.
You
It
know
kind
what
of
I'm
messed me
saying?
up that you said that, because I was watching that No Limit Chronicles the other
Yep.
day.
And Master P, how he did.
And even before he even had the record label, when he always said that he kept saying that his parents told him his grandparents told him he was gonna be something great. And when he started doing the music, he was like, I want to have the world's biggest record label or whatever. And he stuck by it. And I was listening to some of that earlier music, which I used to listen to back in the day, and I didn't realize how horrible it was at first. But he stuck to it. Yeah, he stuck to it though.
Yep. But see, the thing is, he's spoken into existence.
Existence, yeah.
How many people you know speak things into existence? They're mentioning once and leave it at that.
You do it every day, but most people don't trip off they doing it, because you can speak good things into existence and you can speak bad things into existence.
Yeah, but saying I wish, that's not doing nothing.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, you know how you'll be like, damn, my life fucked up, man. Just out of the blue, you thinking of some bad stuff that happened. You like, my life fucked up. And so you basically just put that out there that you got a fucked up life.
Yeah. And that's all you're going to get out of it, because that's the way you...
And that's what you're going to bring in, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got off subject. It's all good. It's our show. We can do that.
I didn't mean to take it off subject. That was my fault, and I apologize, guys.
No, it's cool. It's cool, man. This our show. We can do that, man. We can venture, we can verse, then we all bring it back in the end, man. It's all good.
Right. We can do that.
Hey, but check this out. we about to run out of time, man. So we're gonna end the show right here. I believe we had some great content today, fellas. Some great views was expressed and thoughts was put across. So with that being said, man, I want to thank everybody for tuning in to this week's episode of the Radio Guys. Thinking Like a Black Man. We kind of explained how we were thinking, why we thought that, and put some more things out into the universe. So again, yes, sir.
Hey, we need everybody to educate yourself, man. Just don't go with what somebody's saying. You got to educate yourself and find out what's going on, because a lot of people speak and don't know what the hell going on for real. And that's it.
Message. Okay. fellas. Ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else who tunes in. Like, comment, share. Don't forget
hit that subscribe button.
Hey, we signing off. It's the Radio Guys. Thank y'all for tuning in with us. See y'all next week.